Right, folks, I hope you can hear me now. I hope you can hear me, folks.
Right, let us see. Simba, are you there?
I'm definitely here. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you, though I can't see you.
Okay, so I'm gonna sort out the video right now so that
okay, not a problem. All right.
Okay. Right, fab. My cam, I don't know why. When I press the audio, it's fine. But the cam, I don't know what I cam. Let me see.
Okay, right. Let's see if you are okay. You are connected. The only thing that's missing is your video device.
I don't understand why this is happening.
Okay, all right. What device are you using?
Phone, yeah.
You are using the phone?
No, I'm using my computer.
Using your computer, okay. It should be able to pick up your webcam.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. It's refused. Yeah.
Okay. I guess we can continue while we're still trying to figure out how to bring your video on.
Or you could just put a picture of mine or something, yeah.
Yeah, I think you can put a picture, yeah.
Yeah, or I can put one, right?
Yes, we can put a picture there.
Okay.
Right, I've got Brian F. Musekio says you are very audible, Sekuru Simba. All right, I guess the only thing that we cannot see,
right,
the only thing we can't see is your face. But well, nonetheless,
I apologize. I just don't know why the system is refusing my video, because in Rugu press, once I press this cam, right?
Yes.
Then it's not, but I disable audio as well.
Okay. Right.
So I think we can proceed. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. He's okay. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm back now. I'm back now. Apparently, yeah. I was trying it again, but it's Zilkuram.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah, I was also going to ask how long do you think we're going to take, and also maybe, yeah, do we have a structure, or we're just going to just go random straight into?
No, I think we're supposed to do about 20-30 minutes. Yeah, first it was just to recognize you. We have an called the Banking on Africa's Future.
Yes.
And we have 10,000 individuals that we believe should be in that bank, but we don't know them. But you are one of them. Why?
Right.
Because the work that you have been doing, educating, informing, bringing information that otherwise would not be available to the general public, to the ordinary person, takes a lot of effort. And you may not notice what you are doing, but others do. It is just for us to salute you and recognize you and say within the African context, the media could be a driver of change. But sometimes we don't know what the role of the media is and should be. And you carry a lot of personal risks just to get the information which ordinarily should be available by the people who hold it. In a constitutional democracy, we are saying, let's all play our part. Simba provides the platform, but it is for others to use, like a highway. The cars that need to be driven to another point, they can use it. When they finish, the highway remains for others to use. So that independence, the ability is what we thought it would be useful on this 15th day, Remember, to be able to just say, let's salute Simba for the role you are playing.
Well, thank you.
So the issue that is there are events of the 15th of October that occurred in a foreign territory in Serbia, in the city of Belgrade. And you were one of the participants in those events. Is that correct?
Yes, I definitely was. Thank you.
What was the nature of your recollection of what happened? It happened.
Right. First of all, I would like to say the events that were talked about or discussed in Parliament do not relate to the 15th of October.
Okay.
Yes, I'm shocked that some journalists who are so ignorant to what's been going on. They even went to the point of printing it out as 15th of October. The event that was talked about in Parliament relates to the 13th of October.
Okay, so there's a difference between the 15th and 13th.
There is nothing that happened on the 13th, on the 15th.
Okay, so talk to us about the 13th then.
Yes. So on the 13th of October, in the early hours of the morning, between 9 and 10. Now, this is the incident that the Parliament of Zimbabwe went into discussion over on Tuesday, and this is contrary to what some journalists who have not been, I don't know how to describe them, but they were ignorant of this, right? And
Okay.
yet I actually live streamed the incident on the 13th of October.
Okay.
As things were happening, I literally live streamed everything, even up to the time that the security services came, the Serbian security services came and they literally deserted Jacob Mudenda, practically humiliated him over his claim that he was being harassed.
Okay, so you were in Belgrade.
Yes, I was in Belgrade. I just want to quickly I've got some on the other stream here. Some people are saying they can't hear me, and I'm wondering why.
Okay, all right. Let us see what's going on
so
there.
I'm gonna Hansi, we can't hear you, Simba. I'm just gonna check here.
All right, so you need to double check. All right, let me also double check on the.
But you folks can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so if you folks can hear me, Hansi, we can't hear you, Simba. Munyaradzi says we can't hear you, Simba. Okay, so I'm just going to try and in
Can
case
we
this
stream on Zim-I?
This is what I'm doing right now.
Okay,
yeah, so let's stream on Zim-I so that they.
Okay, yeah, I think they can hear me now. I think people can hear me now.
They can hear you.
Okay, he can hear me now. I hope the sound is also good quality.
No, very good quality.
Okay, so basically, what happened on the incident that was discussed in Parliament, as I said before, I'm going to start off a fresh ship so that people can understand and hear everything. The incident that was talked about in Parliament on Tuesday has got nothing to do with the 15th of October. It is not about the 15th of October. There is nothing that happened on the 15th of October that warrants Parliament to talk about. What was discussed on the 15th in Parliament, it relates to an incident that happened on the 13th of October in the early hours of the morning between 9 and 10. And this was at the Inn Hotel in Belgrade. The Inn Hotel in Belgrade.
Okay.
Yes, and just to go into deeper here so that people can understand, on that very morning, I had registered to be covering the Interparliamentary Union. This is the union of all parliaments around the world. I intended to be inside. Eventually, I didn't go inside after a few. I had that interview with Jacob Mudenda, and anyway, what happened was I booked into the same hotel with Jacob. Yeah. I was literally, I think, just a wall away from Jacob Mudenda. And in the early hours of the morning, I interviewed several people who are from Jacob Mudenda's party, ZANU-PF. And I shall narrate Chief Kumalo, Senator Kumalo. I interviewed him briefly. I've got him on video. I interviewed Tsitsi Muzenda, who is Vice President Simon Muzenda's daughter, the late Vice President. I also interviewed another ZANU-PF female MP. I've forgotten her name because she didn't have a name badge. Unlike me, she only had a badge that said Zimbabwe. Now, I had my own badge that literally revealed who I am. And because, I'm a journalist and I want people to know who I am before they talk to me. It is only natural. It's only procedure. It's only, what could I say there? But anyway, Mawere, what then happened after that? I was also seen by Jacob Mudenda's intelligence, his aides who were there. Everyone saw me, who I am. They know who I am. I mean, for instance, Tsitsi Muzenda, I talked with Chief Kumalo, everyone knew who I am. And so I was in the breakfast area, the dining area, they're eating. And then Jacob Mudenda came to me. I didn't go to Jacob Mudenda. He literally came to me and he looked at me. He didn't say anything. But then I recognized, oh, this is Mudenda. I stood up, I went to the coffee area to put my own coffee. And then he was at the other side taking some bread. And then I just said to him, oh, Mudenda, Mr. Mudenda, how are you? And then he turned And then, we had a selfie moment. And I introduced myself. I'm a journalist. I'm a media researcher over the IPU. This is who I am. I showed him my badge. And then, I said, I'm shocked that you don't recognize me, but it doesn't matter. Have you noticed that we are being criticized here? Pana pa IPU panel. There is this Tanzanian over there. There was a Tanzanian man, a politician, and who also runs an NGO. And he said that Zimbabwe is now 7 times worse than when it was during Robert Mugabe times. So he then replies me and he says, he says that this man says it's worse. Why is he saying it is worse? Arakuti, it's worse in what sense? And so I then said to him, look, well, this is his explanation. And I'm going to need an interview with you. I'm going to need an engagement with you. This is what I said to Jacob Mudenda. So after that, I left. He then left me. You can see Mudenda on video. I am the one who literally sent him away because I was feeling like I want to have my time to put my coffee. And I told him, I'll join you later. I'll come to where you are and I'll join you later. And then we have our brief meeting. And there is a video that is on Twitter. I wish I could bring it up on the screen. And people could see.
You're actually able to share your screen and you can able to play the video from your side.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So I'm going to bring it up here so that people can see.
So that we...
For themselves, absolutely, yeah. Because you see, and this is before all the fake news of the state media, and they start saying this and that. I bombarded Jacob Mudenda, this and that, what they've been writing.
Okay. So the drama had not started.
No, the drama, and you know what? The drama was only over one question. Everything was orderly.
What was the sensitive question? That Zimbabwe
question was, why are you withdrawing allowances for MDC MPs over the very same? Sorry, I apologize. Just wait. I'm just going to wait to just pull it up.
Okay. All right.
To pull it up. I'm trying to.
So this is fact that the delegation had MDC and ZANU-PF participants.
Absolutely, but I wanted to say that there was no MDC in that hotel at all. I only discovered
they were part of the delegation.
They were part of the delegation, but
and the fact that you established was that the MDC MPs, which are in the National Assembly, were given less allowance than the ZANU-PF.
If I could clarify that.
Yeah.
It's not about being given less allowances. Jacob Mudenda literally punished the MDC MPs by withdrawing, withholding over 5 months of their allowances, backdated. So for the last 5 months, basically, he took off, he literally stripped off. Visa, literally, do you get me?
No, this has nothing to do with the visit.
No, this has nothing to do with the actual visit.
This is to do with the parliamentary business, where you are saying
absolutely.
MDC MPs in total were entitled to allowances like every other MP.
Absolutely. And Mudenda, what he did was a week before, MDC MPs walked out on Emmerson Mnangagwa when he entered parliament. And Mudenda chose to punish MDC MPs by literally reversing their allowances. Or shall I say withholding? I don't know which English word I could use there.
No, this is denying them.
Yes, denying them. So basically, you tell MDC MPs you're not going to have your allowances for over for over, you know, the last 5 months. Yes, I'm not going to pay you for over 5 months.
Okay, and this decision was made by the speaker.
Yes.
And you were now confronting the speaker to for him to explain the reasons behind the decision.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I was saying as well that, you see, don't you realize that you are torturing? This is you are now effecting torture, because you wouldn't even treat your own maid like that. If your maid was to misbehave, or your gardener was to misbehave, and you punish that person by reversing their earnings. Okay, I'm gonna put up the video there. You see, by reversing their earnings for the last. I apologize.
Okay. I was actually trying to find the video, but I couldn't find it. Is it on your Twitter?
No, they want. I found it now, so I'm just going to put it up here. Here we are. Okay. So that's me over there. I hope you can see it now. Okay. That's me sending Jacob Mudenda away. Literally sending him away. Because he was still Angarum. So I'm going to use that in Shona. Okay.
No problem.
So, because Zirkunzanzi ndakamuita bombard, or I harassed him. Yeah, but let's see here. It was a cordial discussion. Can you see there? We're on selfie together. I've got my name badge, as you can see. That's my name, as you can see. It's got my name. He doesn't have one. I've got a name badge. I know I'm revealing who I am. I didn't, you see, I didn't come unannounced. Everything is clear. I'm just going to put it up again so you can see. Just going to put up the audio now. Let me put up the audio here.
I'm not sure how you shared it, Simba. I cannot pick up your shared screen.
Okay, let me just over here we can see it though.
Okay. Oh, you can see it on your side. Here we can't see it. It looks like.
All right, let me see if I can pull up Simba's page and go to it directly and share also on my end.
Okay, right. Let me use it this way. Can you see it now? I'm sure you can see it now. Yeah.
Just one moment. I'm not sure, Mr. M. Can you see it on your ends?
No, I can't see anything.
You can't see anything yet.
Why don't no, that's Simba send you the link? So that
Simba, are you able to send me the link on Messenger? And then yes, I'll be able to pull it up here.
On WhatsApp or Messenger?
Let me just bring it up here. I'm using this. Oh dear. The link, video to the link. How do I take the video to the link? Okay, I do it. Take it this way now. I remember. Right. So now. Right, I'm sending it to you straight to you now.
Okay.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay. Yeah. So that's basically what happens, right? You know.
So you knew this information.
It was already, you know. Of course, that was streamed live. Remember?
I'm saying is this denial of allowances was already an issue known to the speaker.
Absolutely. Well, he's the one who effected the ruling, remember?
All right. So you are now just trying to confirm and establish the reasons behind that denial.
Absolutely. And I'm saying, look, do you realize that what you're doing here is a crime? It's actually a crime under UN charters. You know, mental torture, you know, psychological torture, it's as good as physical. It is ranked as in the same. Yeah, it's that severe, and more so here. You are doing this you're doing this on top of the physical torture that people suffered. 1 August, we had 6 people killed, several houses destroyed. In January, we had over, they said it's 16. Someone was quoting, was saying 19 people were killed. You see? So and then scores of women raped. Are you number one there? Are you not realizing that you are committing a crime? Number two, are you not realizing that you're actually destroying parliamentarism? Well, you see, and then number three, do you not see that you're destroying a whole economy as well? Because people are not going to trust the country anymore. They're not going to trust Zimbabwe if, especially seeing that the parliament behaves like that. Parliament literally, I mean, the Speaker of Parliament himself conducts himself like that on something that is so obvious. And then the other thing was, you see, the practice of parliamentarism. You are here in Serbia at a function that is to do with parliamentarism, is to do with the whole exercise, the whole practice of expression, of how MPs should be free to speak, to communicate, you see, and then you are behaving like this. Don't you see that you are causing chaos? You know, you're bringing chaos here. You're literally humiliating your own country. You are humiliating yourself. And these weren't my words. These were the words of this Tanzanian gentleman. I wish I'd brought him on camera. In actual fact, I've got him on audio. And you know, yeah, so this is what it was. Anyway.
So now we have an exercise of power in Zimbabwe, where the Speaker of the National Assembly is showing preference to one MP than to another. And you are saying that it raises public policy matters, and in any event, this matter now is extraterritorial ears that Tanzania and other people are raising it in this IPU meeting. So is it embarrassing for this matter to have legs when this matter could have been solved before it even had legs? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. You know, you're making us look. You know, I'm a Zimbabwean. I was born in Zimbabwe. I grew up in Zimbabwe.
All right. So I don't know, Simba, just one moment. Can you see the video? It's actually up now.
Yes, I can see it now. I can see it.
Yeah, now I can see.
Let us listen to the audio there.
Where you were smiling at each other, yeah?
We were smiling at each other. It was all cordial.
And shaking hands.
Yeah. But we actually, that's a selfie that we're taking there together.
All right, let us listen.
Then he's leaving voluntarily.
Sorry? No, I am the one who is sending him away.
Let's listen.
Let's listen to the audio. Let's listen to the audio.
Thank you.
Okay.
You need to pull up the audio, the volume. You need to pull up the volume.
Okay. So I think that's the part you said. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if our listeners picked that part where you said to him at the end, "I'll be with you shortly," and he moved away.
I am the one who is literally saying, you know, why are you here? You know, sorry, leave me alone for now. Let me have my coffee, mate. You know, so I'll come there later. And then, you know, soon after that, I'm just going to pull up the video now so that people can see. And I'll be doing a narration. It's a very long video, but I'll be doing a narration over, right? I think it'll be better that way. What do you think, folks?
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, it will be long. Otherwise, you know, we could spend the whole, but we can put up the link here. We can also put up the link in my videos so that people can see.
Right.
So now, after that, I'm just sending you this Wildfire so that you have it. Right? Okay, here we are. Oh dear, just lost you there. Right, just gonna put it on. So now after that, I go there. This man. Okay. I go there to sit where he was, you know, so that we can have our discussion. And while we start speaking, what I then we then start on is the. I'm just gonna send you this, folks. Just hold on. I apologize. I think my computer is a wee bit hanged up there. Oh dear. I think it's gonna be a bit of a problem. Let me just narrate.
Okay, not a problem.
When it loads, then we'll continue. Yeah. Okay. So now what then happens is I continue talking, and I asking him questions, and every other question was okay. We went on well. I'm just gonna quickly see if I can narrate it to you here. What we then, I asked him, look, this gentleman, his criticism against us is very scathing. It is heavy. And we are being told here our country is now worse, 7 times worse than it was when, when Robert Mugabe was president. And then he says, how has it gone worse? And I tell him, look, it has gone worse in the sense that, number one, the judiciary, he says, look, the judiciary is now 7 times worse. He mentions institutions. Secondly, number 3, he mentions you, Parliament, you yourself, Speaker of Parliament. You withdrew MDC MPs' allowances last week. Over protesting or expressing themselves on the same topic you yourself brought into Parliament for discussion. I mean, how can you do that? And you expect people to trust Parliament, to trust you as the Speaker of Parliament as well. Don't you see how much damage you are bringing to the whole entire even description of what Parliament should be? And you see, that is when he continued. He said, he just nodded. I said, look, it's very clear. It's very clear here. The topic that MDC MPs are walking out on or for here, you brought it into Parliament, and it is very clear. And this was broadcast on ZBC. Do you not deny? I mentioned him. Look, that soldiers would be used to change election results. And Mawere, I don't know if you heard Jacob Mudenda. He literally said yes. In other places, he was merely nodding. This time he said yes.
You are correct.
That soldiers were used to change election results. He knows that 8 months before the crime was committed on the 1st of August, soldiers were used to change election. It was planned and announced on ZBC that soldiers would be used to change election results. And then I said to him something that is so obvious, that people were killed for the purpose of changing election results. And MDC MPs are walking out on you for that reason. And then now you punish them by doing this. Don't you see the damage that you're causing? And then that is when he then became a bit stiff. And then he said to me, he doesn't want to comment any further, doesn't want to comment, because he said of a threat. What he said was a mere threat by MDC MPs to take him to court. And then that is when, around this time, I'd now pressed my video button, and I said, you know, I've got to ensure that the whole country listens to this and hears this, because clearly here, this is a crime. This is, you know, it was now clear to me, a crime is, even if a crime was committed last year on the 1st of August, a crime is being committed even right now. Here's a man who knows, you see, and right now he is shielding the oppressors from the victims. But now I started filming, and I asked him, I started pressing for answers. I said, look, how can you talk about a threat when you know that, you know, this is just a threat? This is not like they've gone to court. You haven't even been served papers. And you're talking about a threat, a mere threat. And then I asked him, look, aren't you concerned that you are the Speaker of Parliament? You're meant to be the Speaker of Parliament, but now you're behaving like a Speaker of a military cartel. Mm-hmm. And you are here to talk about and to represent a whole parliament from Zimbabwe. And all these foreigners are seeing you. They see your face. You're meant to carry that honor that a Speaker of Parliament should carry.
Okay.
Don't you see that you are damaging a whole nation here? Don't you see that you're oppressing people? And I was almost just about saying, you're oppressing me as well, because, you know, here I am. I'm listening to you making these statements. You're actually torturing me as well. So that is when he became stiffer now, and he started telling me to go away. And, you know, the way he does it while he's in Parliament. And I told him, look, Parliament, in a year, and where do I go? I'm a guest here. Where should I go? Where do you want me to go? I'm here. And by the way, this is an issue of crime. This is not an issue of me wanting a mere interview from you. This is a crime that is and I have got every right to film you. If you're committing a crime, I've got you can't stop me. Even the police can't stop me. So I continued doing that. That is when William Mutumwa came. At that time, I didn't know William Mutumwa. I just thought maybe he was his bodyguard or something, a very, very big man who came. And then he sort of interrupted. I stood away, and then I went to the other table. I sat at the other table. And now I continued filming, as I must film, because I know a crime is being committed. Not only do I know that a whole country is being destroyed here. The trust, the respect of what a country is, the trust a parliament should have here is now literally eroded. You know, it's eroding as well, you know, and most importantly, I have got victims. By the way, for some people who don't know, I have got power of attorney.
And Mufudzi says, but Simba, you were disrespectful and invading someone's personal space.
That is wrong, Mufudzi. You need to watch the video. Thank you very much for your comment. I really respect your view. I also invite you, however, to watch the video for yourself and watch everything. The full video, which begins with the audio and then it goes into the full thing from back to end. There was no invasion. I was invited by Mudenda himself. I am the one who even chased him away. So I don't know.
Didn't you see? Didn't you see it coming?
You mean didn't I see it coming in the sense of?
What you had started was going to be an unpleasant end.
Do you know what? You know what? Thanks for that comment. For that question, I beg your pardon. I want to say I can't tell. I really can't tell. I was so welcomed. I was welcomed by Mudenda's MPs from ZANU-PF, all of them. They were loving, they were smiling.
No, but they know that you are hard-hitting men, and at the end there'll be blood on the floor.
But hear me, they were so welcoming. None of them ever resisted me.
No, they say Simba is not a friend of the new dispensation.
Well, that's what they say.
What do you expect from Simba?
But you know, I'm one of the people who facilitated the creation of the new dispensation. Look,
but they're saying that after that, Simba didn't get what he wanted.
Now, I think here people are just mistaken, and I love these comments. Please do keep them coming because I need.
Another one. There's another one from Chauka who says, from this point, all was well until you started throwing in tough questions when he was having breakfast. We have to remember these guys are captured but guilty of being part of the regime.
Yeah, you know, I think, Mawere, we need another session. Today,
another session, I think
what I would like, I think, Mawere, we need to bring in people here who believe that I disrespected Mudenda, that I invaded his space. We need people.
Somebody says we need more Simbas.
And
I want to
show them the evidence. Yeah, show me.
No, I'm saying is right now, some people are saying, irrespective of the facts of the matter, Simba is entitled to make people in power uncomfortable wherever he can find an opportunity. So they are not apologetic at all because they are interested in the fact they say Zimbabwe is a shithole. Simba is not responsible. There is a problem in Zimbabwe that needs to be fixed. So that can only be fixed by men and women of courage who are willing to speak truth to power. And they're not willing to accept this. I don't have to respect a servant of the people because once you accept to be a public servant, you are public property and you are subject to scrutiny.
True.
There is Simba. We were supposed to start earlier, but obviously interrupt your normal business. Cynthia says we need to be outspoken whether in a journal or not, that Simba is entitled as a citizen. Apart from that, the speaker is not a speaker to use it. He's there to ensure that Zimbabwe's interests, the people of Zimbabwe, are first.
Yeah, but yeah,
there's evidence of
the job of a Speaker of Parliament. My understanding is the job of a Speaker of Parliament is that of being a person who is a facilitator of interrogation. They allow people to interrogate themselves as well. You know, how do they make laws? How does Mudenda make laws, for instance? Yeah, if he doesn't.
But look at the last speaker in the UK. Look at the way he conducted himself. Look at whether you are the governing party or a prime minister, he was able to steer through that. And we may end up with a speaker who is speaking for one faction.
Absolutely. You know, yes, absolutely. And yeah, thank you. Berko, I think his name is Berko. You know, he was even opposing his own boss, Boris Johnson. And at one time, they were now saying, you know, I think the Speaker of Parliament can become a better prime minister. You know why? Because he's even though he's from the Conservatives, he is an independent person. And he was. I remember here when he made his resignation announcement, MPs literally applauded him from every party. They were saying, "Look, you are one of the fairest, if not the fairest, Speaker of Parliament we have seen."
And it was clear even to the public that he was not able to hide behind anything. And he was able to be balanced, impartial, mature, composed, and just has compassion that is not to hide anything. In fact, Mudenda should have welcomed you. If you are, then you should have said, become more aggressive.
Yeah.
Because it's my job to make sure that the people's business is what informs my choices.
And
but you know, because they think they work for the ruling party or ruling clique. It's a bigger subject about accountability. And if you were to look in Parliament today, Simba, and it was midnight, to look at Zimbabwean Parliament. Are you confident that you can find a shining star?
Whew. Yeah, it's shocking. It's shocking, you know, that a place where there should be a healthy interrogation of ideas, of development, you know, and laws that are quality laws that are made. The problem is now it looks like it's just a one party, one ideology.
No, but Simba, can you name one person that you say
who stands out?
Who stands out?
Well, I can give you a few.
No, let's go through the few then, and let's congratulate them as Simba's nominees.
Inside Parliament. Well, you know, we have from both sides, okay? People who could say
no, this is Simba's list. You don't even have to think about it.
Okay. Yeah,
your list, you don't have to be scientific.
And IBT,
okay, Tendai beat number 1.
Temba Mliswa.
Temba Mliswa number 2.
Yes. Who else that I could bring in here?
Obviously, Job Sikala for asking the question.
Job Sikala, amazing. Absolutely.
Number 3.
Absolutely. And in ZANU-PF, who could I say here is...
No, just MPs. Don't even consider their color. Because they must be national members. They must represent the nation. They must represent the interests of the country.
I want to say here, apart from these 3, I can't think of any other.
And how many parliamentarians are there?
Whoa, man. This is shocking.
You even remember them?
Some of them, I don't even know them, to be honest with you. I don't even think.
Some of them are dead from day they take an oath.
Absolutely. I can't even put a finger on them because there's nothing that we can say that they register. So
isn't that a bigger scandal that people are getting allowance for no business that you can speak on behalf of? Yeah?
It's shocking.
Every month, every meeting.
Yeah.
And you have surrendered only to 3 names, Simba.
These are only the 3 that I know. And you know what? I think here we need someone. Yeah. We need someone here from ZANU-PF. We need someone with at least 2 people in this discussion.
They won't come like the speaker. You already know, Simba. It's very difficult to bring these people to order.
I hear
because for the last 39 years, we have been hiding.
But we need them again still, so that we can have
let's talk about them until they come out. Let's find.
Until they come out. I can't see anyone else inside Parliament right now.
Simba, you're saying it's dark at midnight.
I can't see anyone. I can't see anyone.
There's no electricity coming out. Huh?
Right. So Colin says those who speak passionately about respecting the voters today are silent. Yes, today ZANU-PF MPs snapped Parliament. They refused to sit in the Public Accounts Committee to hear from Sakunda. They said since MDC walks away from the Mnangagwa, they will walk away from BT as well. So I guess it's a circus, eh?
No. Is what Simba is saying, there's no accountability, there's no culture, and a fish starts rotting from the head. Here he was expecting something more decent, more respectful of a differing opinion, and what he was asking, according to Simba, is a question that ought to have been registered in the order paper. But because it was not, whether they are castrated or whether they are not, that is not Simba's case. Simba is saying there's something wrong in the system in Zimbabwe. And he has stepped forward. So, Simba, it's not easy for you to be lonely because there are some people who see you as a terrorist. Who is looking for headlines. Yeah, the
media terrorist.
Be in the headline. They don't want to come on your platform. If you invited them today, they will hide because they want to be ministers in the next reshuffle.
Yeah, so, and ministering is the question.
No, they want to be ministers because they get better allowances and you get commissions.
Well, you know what? I think maybe one person you could have brought in here maybe was Matinyarari. You could have brought in the.
Oh, we can call Matinyarari, but I don't understand Matinyarari. Because he talks about things I don't understand about colonialism, about white monsters, ghosts, and sanctions, and everything. But it's not fair to look at what
another person you could bring in here is there's a ZANU-PF youth league. There's a ZANU-PF youth league in Zimbabwe. We've got Matutu. You could.
I'm saying Simba accept that there's no culture of accountability. Whether it's Matutu number 1, number 10, Matinyarara number 1, number 10, it's just wasting your voice because they'll be arguing the most absurd fundamentals. Imagine I was Simba. I was at the Meeting Africa Investment Conference, and the CNBC anger, not you, but was presiding over a meeting. They're talking about the free trade area in Africa. So I said, I got a problem with a bank called Afrexim Bank. Afrexim Bank has hijacked the Zimbabwean economy. They give money to the central bank disguised as a trade finance. The central bank then gives Zim dollars to the miners. And in return, the Reserve Bank gets the forex at an interbank rate.
Yes.
They pay Afrexim Bank. The mine collapses. Then they say, who has collapsed?
It's the miners that have collapsed because they are not getting the money that they deserve. Afrexim and the government are the ones that are getting the money. So it becomes difficult.
And you know who stopped that question from being answered by the representative of Afrexim Bank?
Yes, I'm there. I'm here.
Right, Mr. M? Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, you're back. We had lost you for a second there.
Yeah, it's Simba. You know who stopped the question from being answered? It was the CNBC character.
Serious.
Because they get money from sponsorships.
Oh, absolutely. You know, there is a lot of corruption in the particularly the public media, the media all over the world.
That's right.
I had a direct confrontation with CNN. Okay?
Yeah, CNN. You find Dangote is part of CNN.
Yeah, CNN, Christian Amanpour's husband, ex-husband, and I discovered that there is more to it than meets the eye. They were literally contracted. Yeah, they were contracted to do PR for Mnangagwa. Okay,
they were contracted. They are on the payroll.
Absolutely. You know, there are some media houses out there. If they, BBC as well, even BBC. By the way,
BBC.
There are journalists inside BBC who are reporting a lot of
BBC. Bloomberg.
So a BBC journalist reports that Mnangagwa's march had 20,000 people. Imagine, that stadium march says there were 20,000 people there when they were not even 3,000 people.
But imagine, I went on CNBC.
Yeah.
And I was interviewed. Then I told the journalist, why are you saying no confidence with this second republic? I said, I'm a victim of the first. The people who are second are the perpetrators of the first. So she comes to my office. I showed her the Reconstruction Act. From that day, she has never wanted to speak to me.
The kind of journalism that we have at the moment.
So what kind of media? Are you aware that Dangote has given 20 million to an organization called Africa Center to spruce up the image of Africa so that people like you don't get funding?
Okay.
Yeah. Because they are the people who are saying Africa is okay. Imagine, Simba, America says Zimbabwe is not ready for sanctions to be removed. But your own neighbors are saying you are ready. Let's march to remove sanctions. Have you ever heard that? is your brother's keeper? If out of the whole House of Parliament, including the Senate, Simba, there is no one you can bank on. There is the difficult questions. You remember, I asked the Sikala to represent me on Temba. Temba, on your platform, uttering things that he cannot account for. And he's just allowed to become number 2 on your list. The man is a buffoon. He doesn't know what the role of parliament is. Imagine a parliamentarian who says, I'm doing something for the constituents. You are elected to represent them to do what Simba did in Belgrade. That's what they're elected to, not to do projects.
Also, what I did there, an MP should have been doing that.
Yeah, an MP should have done that, and you pick up from the MP. You bring the MP on your platform.
Wow, wow.
But you are now doing the job that people are elected to do.
Old leaders in the
account without favor or prejudice. But Temba has got amnesia. Yeah. So you are doing the job that democracy must underpin, that the people of Zimbabwe can't just take lightly. Yeah. And this is what is happening. There is no MP who is willing to step forward and say, Simba, what you did exposes how weak we are, how dark parliament has become. So CNN, if I ask a minister or an MP to go on CNN, they all rush. If I go to ZimEye, they say, Ndiye Makua. How do we get out of Makua when you are not willing to step forward? Yeah, where is Mudenda? If you ask him to come here, he's not answerable.
Well, I called him when I discovered that he's planning to get me killed. I called him on Sunday as well. I don't know if you noticed. And I put up the whole live, and I ensured that the whole world hears his voice denying. And
now he's saying that in Luku, I don't deal with Serbia. It is I didn't go to Isaac Moyo. I didn't do this. But come on air and tell us.
Well, what I can tell you, just to let you know on that, there are a lot of holes on that. You see, he is claiming that Serbia classified me as a security threat. That's what he is saying, basically. And yet,
but how does he know that when he doesn't work for Serbia?
And yet, because that's what he then says. He says the security services in Serbia communicated with Isaac Moyo, with the CIO, and I was then classified as a security threat. And yet, the same security services, the intelligence in Serbia, including the Foreign Affairs Ministry in Serbia, are on camera on that very day, walking away from him after he had made a hawk's call.
Yeah, so I'm saying is even you are giving privileged information on security matters, on intelligence matters, and yet you're just a victim. Yeah?
I mean, here, if you see here, there's a video of them literally walking away. I'm just going to pull it up. Let me see if I can send it to you. Someone was saying, Simba, you humiliated Jacob Mudenda. No, it's in actual fact, it's I could say Jacob Mudenda humiliated himself, or I could say
Jacob Mudenda
the security services humiliated Jacob Mudenda. Imagine they come and now they even wave an MDC. As it were. Of course, that might not have been deliberate, but I remember someone was asking.
But Simba, are you not humiliated to say you are Zimbabwean and you have no control over what's happening in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, it is. It's no sure.
So, and who is the Speaker of the National Parliament? That must make the government accountable. That must make the executive accountable. Who does he work for?
Mm.
Who elects him if he's not representatives of the people?
Mm.
And he's a creature of the people. How can I humiliate my own servant who's not doing his job? Huh?
Yeah. And Wildfire, I've just sent you the video.
Okay.
Yeah, the Serbian security service is literally walking away from Mudenda and going on a selfie video with me after he had made that.
No, I'm saying is right now you are a security threat to your home country when the constitution gives you the right to rebel against wrong ideas and actions. So why would you be silenced? And who benefits from that? Huh? So it means voices like you, they ought to go to CNN. And Christian Ahmad Paul say, how long is the shoestring? Vana Richard Quest. Our brokers in my interviews. Vandopuwa cash. I'm truly. Vano to assist wa Wall Street. Vano Wall Street. Varukuto musenzera. Using public funds.
Shocking.
So that he can spin. And say Zimbabwe is stabilizing. Austerity. What was it? Prosperity. Yeah. And you get a surplus in his head. Imagine the surplus just arrives in his head. And there are no stats. There's banned all stats. So he goes to his computer and produces numbers.
It's interesting. You know what I was going to propose. Yeah, he's going to put up the video there. I'm aware. Next time, if we need to bring in these people, and debate with them. I
won't come, my brother.
Exactly.
They will.
I've tried before.
All right, there it is there.
Oh, there you are. See, very clear that they love you.
They are now walking away, and I'm the one who actually stopped them. Look, come, let's go on a selfie before you go. They're walking away, as you can see.
Oh, imagine they shake your hands.
Walking away from Mudenda.
They've come from the same situation before. They know better. Don't expect these people to turn you. So in future, I'm saying,
Mama, as we get to end, because I need to rush. I just wanted to say, if you hear that I'm dead, okay, soon, because these people want to kill me, you have all these videos to use, and I think this is something that citizens, every citizen should take up and fight for their rights and fight for the rule of law to be restored in your country. This is your country, it is not an individual's country, and Zimbabwe only needs the rule of law to be restored. Period.
So what I was going to ask you,
I don't think Zimbabwe needs politics. It just needs the rule of law to be restored.
No, what I was going to ask you,
yes,
is to have 1 hour weekly, just to have Simba's on, and you are on the spotlight, so that we can take a summary of the issues that you are already covering. So
okay, I'm sure we can do that.
Yeah, so that let's not ask. It's premature for us to bring people who are eating from the same system, because they will lose their benefits if they come on air. There are some people who no longer live in Zimbabwe because they think differently from the people in power.
Yes.
And people who have lives in Zimbabwe who want to preserve it, they may not tell what's going on. But it will be risky for them to come on air.
Right.
So let's give them their space, but let's talk about the issues. We now know that we don't have parliament. Yeah. So I don't know whether you would see sense in that, because you are already, you are not longer a journalist, you are an activist.
You know, that's something that I will tell you. Some people are calling me that. You know, we can academically, we can't separate journalism from activism. Journalism is activism. It's a form of activism. You know, you can't be right.
In fact, you don't even go there. Every human being must be an activist, must be angry.
Of the truth. Yeah, an activist of the truth. Yeah.
Even if you're a musician, sing songs that speak to the pain of the people. If you're a doctor, don't be indifferent. If you are a janitor, if you're a cleaner, don't be indifferent. There is no journalist. There's no food reserved for journalism. There's no mango that is only eaten by journalists. So you are human. You must be angry and pissed off.
Yeah.
You have a right to be pissed off without apologizing why you're pissed off. And you must vote accordingly. So, Simba, on this platform, you can't apologize for being a citizen. It's your duty to make people in power uncomfortable. They won't come on you, they won't surrender themselves on your platform. You can ambush them, yes, but they will never say, I went voluntarily to Simba.
Well, I'll tell you what. Mawere, when we do our next session, I promise you, I'll bring at least 2 of them. I
know if you can bring them, then we'll slaughter them together. Start with Temba for lunch. Let's have Temba for lunch.
I just love my country. I respect. I just want everyone, you know, because I know that I can't have the same view as yourself, as others. So as long as you've got a you know,
let's start with the Temba Muliswa and
yes. I will invite Temba.
Yeah, let's have no one's bad.
I've actually inboxed Temba right now.
Zimbabwe hosting us on Zimai.
Wonderful.
No, Zimbabwe hosting us on Zimai.
Wonderful.
Right.
Thank you so much. And I'm gonna share the link so people can see the video. Those who haven't seen the live video in Serbia, I think you should before you are misinformed by fake news, the state media who are saying all sorts. See it for yourselves. Right.
Thank you so much, Simba.
Much appreciated. Cheers.
All right, cheers, Mr. M. Thank you so much to our viewers. Thank you. As Mr. M put it out there, on this platform, you cannot apologize for being a citizen, right? When you talk about being active citizens, Simba is one such active citizen, right? Can we have 10,000 Simbas? I'm standing up to be another Simba. We are all Simba in this. All right, thank you. Cheers. God bless. Until we meet again.